For anyone who is not used to doing stuff on the internet, teaching online sounds a bit scary, doesn't it? There's lots of stuff that could go wrong. There's lots of stuff you have to learn.
Because there's enough to think about with the teaching already without the technology as well.
What's the truth here? How hard is it really?
So I remember I was running a teacher training course in Italy, and we had a woman who was in her 60s, I think, and she was a self-professed technophobe.
Can't do tech.
No, and this course wasn't actually online when it started, and already, you know, she was terrified of the idea of, you know, sending an email or opening a Word document.
So it started off as a face-to-face course. And you were forced online. It was like a pandemic.
Exactly. So we had to finish that course online. By that point, she was getting a little bit more comfortable, and then, you know, we had that move online. By the end of the course, she was training other trainees on the course how to use Zoom.
Wow. What a transformation.
Yeah. So it's about practice. It's about, you know, you build that confidence through practice. It's not as scary as it seems.
And if we think about what's actually required, like what tech do you actually have to be able to use in order to teach online? It's not that much, really. So let's think about what that is. I mean, first of all, you're going to be teaching on Zoom, most likely. There are other options. Some people use Skype and things. But, so you need to know how to use Zoom. You need to be able to use a booking calendar, which is something that most people probably haven't used, but actually it's dead easy. It's like an online calendar, like a Google Calendar, or your schedule that it lives online. Students can book lessons. It's probably new for you, but it's very, very easy to set up.
And then other than that, it's email, which, you know, most people have quite a lot of experience with already. And, you know, a word processing document, Microsoft Word, for example.
Microsoft Word, Google Docs, whatever. And then that would be for, I mean, really just for making lesson material, wouldn't it? It could be for making material for a lesson, or maybe writing things from the lesson in a doc to send to the student afterwards. So, but very, very, it's usually just words on a page. It's nothing more complicated than that. So those are the things that you really have to get. You can get a lot more complicated if you want to.
And the key thing is you don't need to, you know, especially at the start, you can just keep it simple and it'll work.
Because ultimately, if you think about what teaching is, it's you talking to someone over Zoom, and that's the you know the kind of the bare bones.
And we'll talk a lot about using Zoom on the course, and basically it's about doing what we can do in the face-to-face classroom online.
So for someone who is nervous about the tech side of things, how does SEAL prepare them for the whole
So we
stuff?
we ease you in gently, you know, again, that's the key things. I mean, throughout the course we'll be using Zoom, you know, as the platform that we train you on, so you'll see us using it throughout the course. Before the course even starts, you'll have access to some videos where you watch me talking about Zoom and using, you know, the features of Zoom. Then in the first week of the course, we'll have a specific session in small groups training you how to use Zoom. So you'll actually practice
Practice with other people on the course?
Yeah, well, in that first week, you'll actually practice with a tutor there as well, and you'll just try out the features. That's a great troubleshooting opportunity as well, so we can spot any issues there.
And that's nice because it means you can get used to the tech without the pressure of a student sitting there
Exactly.
waiting to be taught.
Then in the second week of the course, that continues because then you'll actually schedule a lesson with one of your colleagues, with one of your peers on the course. So you'll set up a Zoom meeting and you'll actually practice using Zoom with them.
So that's to practice using the scheduling function, which you will be using with real students.
Yeah, scheduling and you know, just the features of Zoom there. Again, without that pressure. Then in the third week of the course, you'll actually meet your student for the first time on Zoom. But again, to take that pressure off a bit, that first get to know you lesson isn't assessed. So, you know,
no tutor watching what
exactly.
you're doing.
So there's not that pressure there. So it's actually week 4, you know, until you actually start teaching those assessed lessons.
And so really the whole structure of the course has been designed with this in mind. For someone who, I mean, people who are comfortable with tech will find it second nature, but we've really designed it for those people who are new to using these tools to get used to it gradually, isn't it?
So it's completely normal to find it a daunting prospect at first, but before you know it, it'll be second nature.
It'll be second nature, and we see it time and time again with people who are nervous about it, end up really enjoying it, and even training
other people to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.